Once again, it's 2025 and I just had to talk about the same camera every single year, and now talking about the Canon RP. Hi guys, my name is Rodric and I'm a freelance videographer here in Malaysia, basically majoring in events, weddings and videos and corporate. So in today's video, I want to talking to you about the Canon RP. Is it worth it in 2025? Why you should avoid it and why you should buy it. These are the reasons why I bought it to me in the first place. Cheap. This is only like $400 used right now. It's so bloody cheap. Getting into photography and videography in 2025 and the year to proceed after 2025, which is what, 2026? Things are getting way cheaper than what it was back in 2017. Getting a full frame camera for like $400 US was basically unheard. Now getting this camera in my hands once again feels very invigorating, but as well as very limiting. But knowing full fact that I've only paid $400 for this is why I purchased this in 2025. Now it may not have the best low light performance. It's pretty good for a 26 megapixel photography camera. If you remember, the 60 Mark II was modeled after this camera. They basically took the innards of the 60 Mark II and placed it into a mirrorless form and say, voila, here you go. This is the Canon 60 Mark II mirrorless format in the RP. Now, it's a little bit more than that because not only did it jump into a mirrorless format, but it gains so much more compared to the 60 Mark II. The 60 Mark II has only 45 megapixels. The 60 Mark II only has like 45-point autofocusing and they're all clumped up in the middle. Basically, if you want to get myself in focus, you're going to have to be like having a huge headroom, which is my major qualm whenever I'm shooting in through the viewfinder. Now, this being mirrorless, it has huge coverage on its autofocusing capability. Being able to like autofocus in anywhere of the frame, basically centering my frame up to like literally all the way to the extremity, it works for the Canon RP. Now, aside from that, it took a hit in terms of how many frames you can shoot between the 60 Mark II and this one. 60 Mark II able to shoot like 6.5 frames per second. This one, unfortunately, doesn't shoot nearly as fast. And let's talk about battery life, right? The 60 Mark II has a way more battery. That thing never dies. Like the DSLR world, they are so robust, so tanky, and just the battery is just god level. But looking into the mirrorless systems, it's only rated for like a 250 shots. I'm really getting like way less than that. I'm getting like possibly like 180 to 200. Because I'm also shooting RAW plus JPEG all of the time, right? I'm shooting in RAW plus JPEG and I'm shooting in live view mode and I'm shooting in like a mixture of live view and screen as well. Now I have to say this with full disclaimer. Some people, majorly people like you guys who are watching these videos, prefer your camera to be ultra heavy, like the 1DX series, weighing like 2 kilos or 1 kilo. Now I'm not like that. I'm the opposite spectrum of the end. I want my cameras to be as light as possible that do not break my fingers when I'm ending a 6-hour photo or video shoot. So for me, the 460 grams of this Canon RP beats the 700 grams, 800 grams of the DSLR 60 Mark II or whatever you are not. This is a huge plus point. Having to shave off the extra grams is perhaps the reason why we're advancing technology in the first place. So I really do appreciate that the Canon RP maintains a very good weight, even though now 2025 we have other cameras that just doesn't seem to be as much lighter than this, aside from the Canon R8, which is what I'm shooting right now. But then again, the Canon R8 is using its RP's body, just the innards are being sucked out in Digit X inside. Now let's talk about video quality. Does it actually suck? I have my Canon R8 running right now. I'll be setting up my Canon RP right next to it, so have a look. And this is the Canon RP shooting it at 1080p at 30 frames per second at 1/60 shutter speed, f2.8, 56,000 kelvins, and at 320 ISO. Basically, I've shot matched the R8 settings to that of the RP. I haven't really dialed into the fine details of picture profiles just yet, but this is how it looks like from the Canon RP at 1080p. What you're watching now is the Canon R8 basically shooting at 4K 30 frames per second f2.8 with the Canon 24-105 f2.8 USM IS-ZAC lens. Okay, I've basically changed the settings into 4K and the screen got way much tighter than it needs to be. It's currently shooting at the same 38mm focal length but at a 1.6 crop factor, hence why it looks like that. But as far as autofocusing goes, I can't tell. You know the story. 4K for autofocusing isn't great. Now, the main reason why I had to go about buying this Canon RP, also because I do hybrid photos and videos. I do in corporate events, and sometimes I run primes. Now, when I run primes, I don't necessarily have the capacity to change lens during the event. So what do I do, right? So basically, I have the R7. This bad boy is going to be my video camera. And if I have the R8, it's going to be rocking the 24 to 105 f2.8. That's just going to be handheld. And I possibly need one camera on the gimbal on the lens. And I'll probably be running this with like a 14 to 35 f4 on a gimbal, right? Having this 3-camera setup is what I like. It's what I feel my style is calling me into, hence why I decided to purchase the Canon RP. On top of that, I have a slight solution to its dying battery problem, which is to have an extender grip to basically enhance the battery, to put 2 batteries in once. I don't have it with me now, but it's in my other studio. So I would say that even having the Canon R8, the same body ergonomics as the RP, it feels at home. It feels just like what I'm used to. The Canon R8, Canon RP, same thing. So there you have it, folks. This is my review on the Canon RP. I hope you like this video. Leave it like, thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And I'll catch you again in the next camera review. Peace out.